Damn! Godzilla! Dun, dun, dun. What's up, nerds? It's your boy, the OG GM, coming to you live 9 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday here. And wherever it is I actually live, I leave it to you to decide, since I'm tired of making up places because I'm old. It's the 19th day of July in the year of our Lord John Cena. You know who's been relatively quiet lately? Wizards of the Coast. But when they do make a noise, they make a big noise. And it's usually a big, stupid noise. But I'm sure somebody out there is excited about this. But hey, we've got some previews from Wizards of the Coast. One intentional, and the other they claim was, oops, we made a mistake. As you know, That's Not BIGBY'S Glory of the Giants is coming out on August 18th. Anybody who says they have a copy now is lying, because they haven't even sent the review copies to the respective reviewers like Coville or Ginny. But I know there's people out there going, oh yeah, I got it. It's like, no, you didn't. It's not even available yet. The digital version isn't even available yet, but you can claim you got it all you want. You didn't get it. So they have released information on the 70 new monsters that are going to be in That's Not BIGBY'S Glory of the Giants, and all the artwork that's going to involve in these 70 new. So that's going to be at least 70 pages of art. Well, let's assume it's 2 pieces of art per creature. So 70 divided by 2 is what, 30 something, 35 each? So 35 new pieces of art if they're all half page. You know, so we have monster block, picture, then second monster block, second picture. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't seen a D&D module / monster book in a while, so I don't know how much space they use for monsters. A lot of them are full pages, I think. Some of them are half pages. So still, it's at least 35 new pieces of space wasted with art. Is the art in any way, shape, or form exciting or evocative? We've got here's some examples of the art. This was a this all comes to us from a interview that Todd Kendrick and Ben Perdesor did about the artworks that James White did and some other people did for the art. So basically, it was them talking about, oh, here's this art we did, and a lot of big giant critters. So here's some of the examples of the art. You tell me whether you think this is amazing or awful. Obviously, still no explanation for why the portrayal of Bigby they keep showing is not, in fact, Bigby, because the character record sheet still lists him as human as of the last time it was updated last month. So we've got Vague Dinosaur. We've got, oh, it's Babe the Blue Ox. Do you think they're actually going to give any? Oh, check out the person hiding in the basket. That's actually kind of clever. You think they're going to mention that this is Babe the Blue Ox of Paul Bunyan fame, or are they going to call it something different? Then we got this dude, this whatever it is, this, I don't know if that's a woman or a man, this maybe girl, I don't know. Definitely a dude. Some of these look really familiar for new art. I swear I've seen this one before. And I'm pretty sure I've seen this one before. Then we've got this individual. And then we've got some guys down here proving that, hey, the only spell you really need is, the Instant Fortress. I'm casting Force Field. That spell doesn't exist in this game. Oh, I'm casting Resilient Sphere? That spell doesn't do that. I don't know what spell I'm casting. And then we've got this individual who I think is the Ice Queen. I'm not sure. It kind of looks like her. Is that the rhyme of the Frost Maiden lady? And then we have this individual. These all look really familiar for new art. I'm pretty sure I've seen most. This one I've definitely seen before. That's Rhyme of the Frost Maiden. This dude looks familiar. This young lady looks familiar. I'm assuming it's a lady, but it could be just an androgynous. Then we got this ice dude, and this is a giant Ithilid, some type of Cthulhu monster, some type of trolls. Who knows? Then we've got what looks like a necromancer going on here with these little skulls and just some generic armor. Then for a Drow elf, because we know you cannot have the Giants without at least some mention of the those aren't Drow anymore Drow elves, because that's where the Drow originally came from, was against the Giants. G2, G3, and then of course into the Descent of the Earth, where we very first met our very first Drow, were the original Drow, who were these kick-ass, scary as hell, evil underground dwelling elves before they became everything else that they are. So 70 new monsters, each with brand new art, 70 new pages of art. Figure 2 monsters per page. That's still a lot of wasted space on monsters and art, and very little on the actual lore or what Bigby has to do with Giants. The best I can go is Bigby's most favorites. The spell you most associate with Bigby is Bigby's Graspy's hand, Bigby's giant hand, Bigby's interposing hand. So maybe it's like, well, his big thing was hands. Who has big hands? Giants. So that's how we associate Bigby with Giants, even though the individual on the cover is a gnome and Bigby is still human. Okay, so there we go. But that's not all. They also released a pre-order of Planescape is now up. Planescape is now scheduled to come out October 17th. We know it was originally supposed to be the last one. It was supposed to be the Minds of Feldelver and then Planescape and then year end, but they have messed up the order. So I now no longer know what the final product for 2023 is going to be to end the 2014 to 2023 story and jumpstart 2024 D&D, because, logically, the very last product should have either been Planescape to open up the multiverse of 2024 D&D, or logically it should have ended with Feldelver, because that's where the story started, all those years ago with Minds of Feldelver introducing the Black Obelisk, ending with Feldelver finally explaining the Black Obelisk, and at last revealing what we've all suspected, that the Black Obelisks were all part of some plan of Vecna's, going into 2024, where the only thing we know that is planned for 2024 adventure-wise is the Vecna thing. But no! So I don't know what they have planned for the end of the year. Anyways, we have a look at the box set. It is another slipcover box set. If you go online now, well, you can't get it, but they're taking the pre-orders now. The pre-order, of course, will be digital first and then physical later. They'll send you the physical product, which is this thing. Mind you, this is a mock-up. This doesn't actually exist yet at some point in time. So for the amount, now they apparently Wizards is saying, oh, this wasn't supposed to be public and you weren't supposed to see this. But since you do see it, here you go. Here's what you can expect from Planescape for the digital pre-order. Mind you, this is the digital pre-order. You're going to get 2 new backgrounds for player characters. That's it. 2. You're going to get 7 new feats, some new magic and spells, 12 new factions, 50 new creatures, an adventure, some new adventure hooks, encounter tables, maps of Sigil, and the Outlands. It's going to be a 3-book series. First book is Sigil and the Outlands. It's a setting book full of player character options with details on the fantastic cities of Doors, descriptions of the Outlands, the gate towns that lead to the Outer Planes, and more. Do you feel that that's going to do Planescape justice with just a book, which 80% of it is going to be artwork? And all of Planescape's lore, information, everything you've ever wanted to know about the City of Doors, all in one book. The second book is going to be the adventure, and the third book is going to be the Monster Manual. This time hosted by Mort. Who is Mort? I don't know. Is that some? Is that Mert? Are you supposed to be? Do you mean Mert? Mert the moneylender? Because we know Mert the moneylender is in Planescape now. Or was he in Spelljammer? He was in one of the two. I don't know who Mort is. I think they mean Mert. if you know who Mort is in Forgotten Learn, is Mort the skull from the video game? Because that would be awesome. But anyways, it's 50 pages worth of new monsters. So that's 25 new pieces of art with 50 new monsters. So we're talking 75 pages worth. Most of it is art. See, this is my problem, is so little actual information. Instead, it's being just replaced with art. It's kind of like my argument about Minecraft, where every time you put in a new material, there's less chances of me finding the material I'm actually looking for. You know, every time I encounter tough in Minecraft, that's one less diamond I'm technically going to find. Every time you fill a blank space with unnecessary color art, that's one less piece of information I'm never going to see because you chose to fill it with art. But what do I know? I don't know who Mort is, unless Mort's the skull from the video game. Because if that's who it is, that would be awesome. Nice nod to the hat to the video game. If you know what I'm talking about, there was a talking skull that could be a member of your party in the Planescape video game, and everybody loved the talking skull. He is definitely a favorite, right up there with like Minsk and Boo. So there you go. There is the secret preview for Planejammer, Spellscape, whatever they're calling this thing. It really doesn't sound like there's a lot bang for your buck. I mean, you get a map. I guess it's okay. You get a DM screen, but which of course is going to be pointless because everything is going to change next year. And then you get 3 books. You get an adventure, you get a monster manual, and then you get the everything you've ever wanted to know about Planescape smushed into a 25 to 50 page book. It doesn't really feel like it's doing Planescape justice. But if the goal of Wizards of the Coast 2024 is to tell multiversal, world agnostic, which is not a term apparently I've been told, stories, then yes, starting with Planescape as the jumping off point would make sense. Except you're releasing in October, which leaves November into December to be having what? Well, we know it's not Fendelver because that's coming out. We know it's not Big Geek because that's not coming out. So what? You're going to end with the Deck of Many Things book now? That is a horrible way to end the run. But then it's Wizards of the Coast, so I'm not surprised that they would end it with anything other than something horrible. Because it's Wizards of the Coast, and nothing they do makes sense. They are their own worst enemy. All right, so that's some Wizards of the Coast news. You can all now shake your head and just why? And then move on to more important subjects like what to have for lunch. I'm the OG GM. If you appreciate this content and me making fun of Wizards of the Coast, let me know. If you don't, let me know. Who knows? I dream of a day where I could go a whole week without mentioning Wizards of the Coast. Then I dream of a day where I can go a whole month. And then as I look towards the tail end of the heat death of the multiverse, just as all life ceases to exist, in the final moments, I will have a Wizards of the Coast free multiverse. And I will die happy. But for now, get the fuck off my land. I'll talk to you later. Love y'all. Have a great day.